And will Wilson rank among the AFC's, top 5 wide receivers?
I think he has a great chance of doing this because, as you said, he's going to be the #1 receiver for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, and if compared,
Can I pause you for 1 second?
yeah,
This first take, baby. No good chance. Is he gonna do it or not? Is he gonna do it or not, Shannon Sharpe?
okay, this is where I would have, and this is no order.
Okay.
I got Tyreek,
Okay.
Devontae, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs. I believe those are clear cut, the 4 best receivers in the AFC.
Okay.
Now, Calvin Ridley. I don't know if people remember Calvin Ridley when he was at Atlanta, but he's back.
Yeah.
He was a Pro Bowl. He was legit.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's just going to pole vault over Calvin Ridley. Keenan Allen, coming off that injury last year. We know the rapport that he has with Justin Herbert. So let's just say, for the sake of argument,
Right.
that's what we do. We have a little argument right now.
Sure.
Let's say Deshaun Watson gets back close to what he was his last year in Houston, and he has Amari Cooper.
Right.
Because the one thing we know about those Alabama receivers, they can run routes.
That's right.
You go Coop, you go Ridley, you go Jerry Jeudy. Oh, I ain't even mentioned Jalen Waddle, who went for over 100 catches again last year.
I did.
So you know what?
Yeah.
You put my feet to the fire, I'm going to say he'll be 5. And this is the only reason I'm going to say that, because I do believe that he'll be Aaron Rodgers' #1 receiver. And he's going to get a lot of balls. A lot of these other guys, if you look at Calvin Ridley, has the Williams kid on the other side, who's going to take some of those catches away from him. Jalen Waddle has Reek on the other side, who's going to, he frees him up. But you know what? We're going to roll coverage. We're going to play a shell coverage and try to take some of this away.
Okay.
Garrett Wilson is going to get a ton of targets. If you go through a 17-game average from 2018 to 2021, Devontae Adams averaged 183 targets, 129 catches, over 1,500 yards, and 14 touchdowns.
Right.
He's going to be the guy. His cup will runneth over. He will get 150-plus targets, which will turn into somewhere between 95 and 115 catches. So I believe at the end of the day, he will be the 5th best receiver in the AFC.
I do not. And if you're watching Garrett Wilson, that is no knock against you. I know you can ball.
It is a knock on him. You said it.
Allow me to explain. Okay? Because I get you. I got you, right? But let me explain this, because it's tight, because he's too gifted for me to just say that flippantly.
Okay.
So I'm going to preface it by saying I know what a stud he is.
Right.
Having said all of that, the second leading receiver on the New York Jets last year was some dude named Tyler Conklin. Had about 25 fewer catches and about 551 fewer yards. Alan Lazard is there now. Randall Cobb is there now. Breece Hall is coming back now. And Dalvin Cook is going to be there. So I'm saying by default, the combination of you keying in on Garrett Wilson combined with those other people that Aaron Rodgers has available to him. And the reason I bring up Lazard and Cobb is not because they're in Garrett Wilson's class at this point.
Right.
It's because they're familiar targets. And you know how veterans can be sometimes. Yeah, you got the talent, but the people that you trust, that you've played with, I find myself them looking at Aaron Rodgers looking in their direction. Plus, I think the Jets are going to run the football a lot more than people realize. So it's basically by default. I'm not questioning the greatness of Garrett Wilson by any stretch of the imagination. But here's what I'll give you my list. Let me give you my list.
Okay.
Right, well, you know I got Tyreek Hill up in there.
Okay.
Okay. And there's no particular order.
Right.
I got Tyreek Hill up there. I got Jamar Chase up there.
Okay.
Okay. I got Stephon Diggs up there.
Yeah.
We keep forgetting about this brother.
Yeah.
I know he ain't that damn happy with Buffalo over the last couple of years, feeling like their window may have slipped a little bit, but he's still there with Josh Allen throwing him the football, okay? I got Keenan Allen with Justin Herbert throwing him the football, okay? We know what this brother can bring to the table, okay? So, I mean, I'm saying, and I got Waddle. And so I'm like, Hill and Waddle with Jamar Chase, with Keenan Allen, I said, that's at least 4.
What about
And
Devontae?
Stephon Diggs
You forgot about Devontae.
I didn't even mention Devontae, and I know he belongs in there. I just don't trust Jimmy G. Porn star Jimmy is what I call him on the show. His name's Porn star Jimmy on first take purposes. That's what happens when you show up on Melrose Place chilling like that. The point is, that's what it is. So I got to look at him. And then I didn't even think about Calvin Ridley because he got Trevor Lawrence throwing him the football. And Trevor Lawrence is coming out partying in the playoffs last year against the Chargers. Okay. And you want me to throw my sleep out there for you? And the only reason I didn't bring this up is because of who's throwing him the football, because the jury is still out. I would keep my eyes on Mr. Pickens.
I got him on my list.
For the Steelers.
Yeah.
I would keep my eyes on that brother and what he brings to the table. Yeah. So Garrett Wilson's going to be up there.
Right.
But top 5, nah,
I'm
not doing that.
You know a guy that we left off?
Who?
D-Hop.
I know.
D-Hop's in Tennessee. with Ryan Tannehill. Now, can Ryan...
That's why they bring him up. That damn Tannehill right there. That guy right there. That Tannehill. That's why they bring him up.
But look, I've seen D-Hop put up numbers with less quarterbacks. So I'm never going to doubt his ability. And I understand people say he can't run anymore, but all I know, before he got hurt, you look at his number comparable to the top wide receivers before he got hurt, and he was right there across the board.
Okay. I say this. This is what part that I want mentioned about Ryan Tannehill. Some people think, and they listen to people like me and others think Ryan Tannehill can play. Ryan Tannehill can't play.
Right.
He can play.
Right.
I'm not questioning his skill set. But people act like he doesn't show up in the postseason. No. He doesn't show up whenever big moments arrive.
Right.
Whenever the spotlight is on Tennessee, it could be in a regular season game.
Right.
He comes up small.
Right.
That's my problem with Ryan Tannehill. And D-Hop being there elevates expectations.
Right.
And I find Tannehill to be somebody who is skilled, who can play, relatively decent guy by all accounts and stuff like that. But when the moment calls for him to show up, when the light is shining down on him, he doesn't respond favorably.
In any wide receiver, when you got Derrick Henry as your running back, you're going to get single high safety.
That's true.
Because they're going to drop that guy down in the box. Yeah. They got to stop that freight train. They can't let him get ahead of steam. So he's going to get a lot of single coverage. The question is, and you're right, Ryan Tannehill has come up small in some big moments. But he did have a 14-0 lead or a 10-0 lead on Kansas City one year in the championship game.
Yes. And he also wet the bed the minute the tailgate parties was over for a damn playoff home opener. I mean, before somebody had a chance to pass gas, they were trailing by 14 or 17 points because of his sorry behind. It's ridiculous.
So Shannon says yes, Stephen A. no. Aaron Rodgers has thrown 475 pass TDs in his career, none of them to a first-round receiver.
But you won, bro. You lay off the protein shake. You won. Listen, it becomes a point when you lift weights where you can stop.
Nah,
you've gotten there before.
Listen to me. Okay. Never lay off.
Okay.
Look, we sitting here look like Booker T and Stephen Ray. we looking like Harlem Heat over here.
You look leaner. Huh? You look leaner.
Because I knew he was coming. I've been watching Stephen A. get cocked like a pistol. I had to make sure I had to get it in. So I took off 20.
Don't even put me in y'all level. Listen, he got a reason to be proud of me because he's been on me for years about getting off that sugar. And you too.
Yeah,
but I have done it.
Well, just like you guys, we talk a lot of stuff, and then these young boys want to run up. I just need to let them understand I got that grown man strength too.
How about that?
So run up if you want to.
How about that?
You're going to limp back.
That's it.
All right, let's get into it. Who's going to have the better game Sunday, Shannon? You think it's Tua or Herbert?
I'm going to take Tua because I thought he was having an MVP-type season last year before the injury, before the concussions. He was in the MVP discussion. We saw him do that, engineer that masterful comeback against the Baltimore Ravens early in the year, threw for over 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Tyreek Waddle went off. He was having a great season, 25 touchdowns, over 3,500 yards, quarterback rating of 105.5. So he was playing outstanding football. And there's always going to be the connection. These two are joined at the hip. It's kind of like Elway, the 83 draft. It's kind of like when your quarterbacks come in, they're connected. And he wants to go to L.A., and he wants to outdo Justin Herbert. I think Tyreek last year was hurt because they played out there last year, and they ended up losing that game because Tyreek wasn't 100%. I like Tyreek. I like Waddle. I like their ability to be able to throw the football down the field. And Tua has a chip on his shoulder.
Does he?
Everybody's written him off and talking about this. He can't stay healthy. And he's practiced falling. So he's been practicing.
Practice falling.
How about practice not falling?
Yeah. They're going to get you sooner or later. They're going to get you.
Can I interject real quick to the both of y'all? Y'all play football. I didn't. I defer to y'all. That's why I'm happy to have y'all both on here. But, average folks out there really annoy the hell out of me sometimes. Like if you're playing baseball, I understand you got to learn how to slide. Like when RG3 wanted to learn how to slide.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of running and not knowing how to slide before he got hit, below the nada, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
We get all of that, right? I understand that. But you don't have to play football to know. The hell you mean knowing how to fall? If somebody blindsides your behind and snap your neck, you know what I'm saying, or cave in your damn chest, what do you mean knowing how to fall? It's the stupidest thing. I've heard.
It's the jiu-jitsu.
Me and Shannon got about 20 years between us. Me and Shannon got about 25 years in between us in football, right? Professional play, right? I've never had a drill where we practice how to fall.
No. I think the thing is that for him, is that when he's getting tackled, I don't understand is that the first thing to hit is his head.
Right.
But that's the thing. But it is an art to learning when you're a receiver or you're an offensive player and you have the ball in your hand. There is an art to knowing how to go down and to protect yourself
I feel
and not fall on
that's
your shoulder.
different, which is along the lines of an RG3. I'm saying that's different. You don't have to play football to know. If I'm standing in the pocket and looking to throw a pass and somebody comes and knocks the living hell out of me, what do you mean learn how to fall? You're damn near unconscious before you fall.
Well, I'm talking about learn how to climb into the pocket, how to have that internal clock in your head. You know, the problem is he doesn't have a great offensive line, and that's why when you ask me who's going to have a better game, I got to go with the better player, and traditionally who's played at a higher level. Nobody's thrown for more yards in 3 years than Justin Herbert. You know, you think about what he did last year. Last year he was second. The year before that he was second. His rookie year he was sixth, and now you give him Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is the offensive whisperer. This is a team that has scored more points than anybody, too. Unfortunately, their defense has given up more points. So as much as we want to applaud, the explosiveness of the Miami Dolphins, we got to tip our hats to what Justin Herbert has been in this league already. And he's the bigger player. He's the better player. He's the more athletic player. So he has, you look at the weapons are equal, right? Yeah. Keenan Allen, I heard you say that he was that dude in the previous seven. You talk about Mike Williams, but also they have the ability to run the ball, to create balance. We don't know if if they can run the ball in Miami. And you're asking who you're playing against defensively. You talk about learning how to fall. He better learn how to fall. He better have that clock.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.